Alright, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We're talking about SmackDown 1000. We haven't been talking a lot about this show, but one of the things that we have been talking about is that Big Dave Batista, a guy that I thought was going to be, making his return to WWE a few times. We haven't seen him since WrestleMania 30 time. Here we are, 4 to 5 years later, however you count them. Big Dave hasn't been around, and he's only become more and more of a big star. He's not quite The Rock in Hollywood, but he is scoring lots of movie roles. He is in lots of big movies. He's in really big movie franchises. It seems like he's only really getting bigger, and WWE almost seems like they don't want anything to do with him, even though, Dave Batista, he's very honest with the fans. I don't think that, he's, trying to, tell the fans one thing and then turn around and then try to, screw the WWE and charge them tons of money to have some sort of a comeback. But Batista's always been open, saying that he wants to have one more run in the business. He is a little bit outspoken about how the business is today, and he wants it a certain way. But he does want to come back. He even wants to work house shows. He wants to work one more WrestleMania. Before his body is, a little bit too old and doesn't want to do it anymore, he wants to go out and have one more good match and basically say thank you to the fans. He doesn't want to just walk out on stage, say, I'm in the WWE Hall of Fame now, and, ride off into the sunset making movies from now on. Dave Batista said that he hadn't even been asked to be at SmackDown 1000, but today, WWE officially announced that all 4 members of Evolution, Triple H, Batista, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton will all be at SmackDown 1000 in October the 16th. This is kind of surprising that they would use SmackDown 1000 as the launching pad for an Evolution reunion, seeing how Evolution was never on SmackDown. I honestly don't even think Ric Flair has ever been on the SmackDown roster. Triple H only spent that 1 year on SmackDown. Big Dave and Randy Orton, both big parts of SmackDown's time. Also, when you break this down, kind of interesting, that the last time we saw Evolution, together, Ric Flair wasn't a part of the company. He wasn't a part of the group, but then again, they were setting up a 3-on-3 feud with the Shield at the time. That would lead to Triple H basically telling Batista to hit the bricks. He wanted to go off and make a movie and go promote a movie that no one was going to go see. And basically made it seem like they were setting up Batista versus Triple H for the next year's WrestleMania that never happened. But is Evolution going to be all on the same page? The last time there was a reunion show, I believe it was one of the big Monday Night Raws. It had to have been like a 10-year anniversary or something like that. They had an Evolution return, and at that time, Ric Flair, Triple H, and Batista were all baby faces, yet, I think Triple H was setting up a match with Randy Orton, and Orton didn't even want to get in the ring to be a part of Evolution, fearing that, Triple H would take some sort of a cheap shot, and it would be a 3-on-1 affair. They spent the entire promo basically batting back and forth, setting up a match for them. In the back of my mind, I want to really believe that this is something. Triple H normally doesn't appear on, the Monday Night Raw or SmackDown during the football season because of the fact that ratings are down. He most of the time saves himself for that pre-Royal Rumble to WrestleMania build, sort of making his impact felt on the ratings and wanting to be somebody who matters in what's going down. Let's face it, September, October, November, even December are really down points for WWE, where they're really, trying to really just put something together that people want to see on the WWE network. My hope is that this maybe leads to Triple H versus Batista as a match at WrestleMania. The Evolution return doesn't really make sense to me for any other way, seeing how, just like last time, Randy Orton is a heel on SmackDown. Batista more than likely is returned to WWE after 4 years. He's probably going to be a babyface. Triple H on Monday Night Raw, he's a heel. In NXT, he's the biggest babyface there is in the company. So is that maybe why this is taking place on SmackDown? Because maybe people will look at him different because it's the SmackDown brand and not the Monday Night Raw brand. And then Ric Flair. This is a guy that is battled back from death over the last year. He's having a real big year. He just had his commitment ceremony with Fifi. And it seems like everything that Ric Flair touches these days turns to gold. So let's see what this means, because I don't see how you put these 4 guys back into the ring. I know that honestly, in WWE's eyes, they're all at one point major baby faces that everybody loves, but they have that side of gray to their character that at any minute, any of these guys, Ric Flair could stab all 3 of these guys in the back. Triple H could do it, Batista could do it, Randy Orton could do it, just trying to make them look like they're the biggest member of the group. Because as you can remember, Evolution started out as, at that time, Triple H was the biggest guy in the company. Ric Flair was the biggest name that there had been in the wrestling business at the time, and they were trying to roll forward using the arsenal of Batista and Randy Orton, trying to push them forward as well as making them big stars that would come to be, with Batista and Randy Orton being big parts of WrestleMania 21. So I, as a fan, really missed the Evolution's run. It was during a time when I was not watching wrestling. I just sort of got into a part of my life where wrestling wasn't important anymore. I really felt that in 2002 they really didn't care, and they weren't putting on a show that I wanted to see. But yet here we are today, and I honestly think that the wrestling business is in a bigger rut today than it was in 2002. I can probably go back and watch those 2002 Raw and SmackDown shows and probably find some stuff that was really good. But yet, sitting here thinking about, watching 3 hours of Raw and 2 hours of SmackDown, that's like torture. I'd rather go to prison, honestly, in my mind. So let's see what goes down. I'm glad for Big Dave. He's going to be a part of WWE once again. Hopefully this is more than just a one-night thing, and this leads to something for, a big WrestleMania match. That's my hope. Triple H versus Batista. Let's see if it happens.